Call this regular Board of Education meeting to order. The first item on our agenda for this evening is the roll call for those Board of Education members who are present. Trustee Goodrich, would you perform the roll call, please?
Certainly, Madam President. Trustee Sutton Kennedy.
Present.
Trustee Fields. Trustee Goodrich, I'm here. Trustee Townsend. Trustee Espy.
Here.
Vice President Lee.
I'm here.
President Hawkins.
Here. Thank you, Trustee Goodrich. We have 7 Board of Education members who are present. At this time, is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
Vice President Lee, move that the Board of Education accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Vice President Lee. Is there support for this motion?
I support.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Espy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. That takes us to item 4 on the agenda.
Excuse me.
Madam President.
Yes.
President Hawkins,
Yes.
we skipped over the Pledge of Allegiance.
We did. Thank you, Vice President Lee. Look at us. We just eager beavers, ready to go. For those who are in attendance at the meeting this evening, if I can invite the public to join us in reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you again, Vice President Lee. Next, that takes us to item 4, which is achievements, awards, and recognition. And at this time, I would turn it over to Dr. Zachary Ross for this section of our agenda.
Thank you, Madam President. We are thrilled to have our first of the year scholar presentations. We have Perry Early Learning Center for their points of pride. I'm inviting up their principal, Brian Dickerson. He has with him some scholars, it seems, and some educators that are in the house. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Okay. Yes.
So we thought about our question. One of the things I'm most proud of on the team that I have. Again, when we think about, leading a school building, you're only as strong as your team. And we have an amazing team at Perry. You all were fortunate enough to meet Megan Carr this, at the beginning of the year that presented our 99D project. And I thought that was amazing. So I really want some of our team to shine. So we have some amazing team members. Lisa Murray, our culture and climate coach. Elisa Hunter, our 31A social worker. Melanie is our instructional coach. Miss Witt is our kindergarten teacher, and Miss Woodard. So they're going to do parts of our points of pride. Oh, and I do have a little clicker. So we're just going to start with student engagement. We just had an article in MLive. We have an amazing Cub Cave that's new to Perry. The students are loving it. It's a sensory and motor space. We just want to give the kids an opportunity to really take a break when needed, to get some time outside of the classroom to reset so that they can get back to the classrooms and be successful with their academics. So this is just an opportunity to reset and get back to their work. I'm breezing through my part so everyone can get to theirs. The vending machines, I know you've heard of our vending machines. This is our vending machines in action. We have students of the week. So the students get their own token. They get to go to the machine and select their own books. It comes with a certificate that they get to share with their families. The students really love that. We're going to get started with that again this year very soon. And then our family events. This was our beginning of the year event, Popsicles in the Park. One of the strong things that we have at Perry is our connection with the community. What you'll see on the left is the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, and they're handing out backpacks to the students. And to the right, we have, Eastern Michigan program that's, interacting with students, and every table had a different program for our students and for our families. So that's something that we're really proud of. And I'm going to hand it over to Lisa.
So yes, as Brian said, I'm Lisa Murray. I'm the Culture and Climate Coach. And we are very excited this year that we get to spend this entire year doing a really deep dive with conscious discipline. We've been doing components of it, but to have a national trainer come and spend this year with us is going to be incredible. I was here when the two districts merged and we did that district-wide training. And that, along with the restorative practices, I think transformed everything I did. And I truly mean that. So I'm very excited that our whole staff is going to get that opportunity. So this was our opening day. This was our first full day with our trainer. There was a lot of buy-in. There was a lot of positive energy around this undertaking. This is our trainer and some staff coming up and participating with her. And even though we haven't had the full training, everyone on our staff has not, we've been doing components of it for the past several years. And so now Allison and Lauren will come up and kind of show what it looks like in the classroom, the things they've been doing with their kindergartners.
Yeah, so in the classroom, you'll see on the pictures, we use a safe space. In that safe space, that's where students can take their deep breaths. That's where they can use their fidgets. And with that, we've learned through conscious discipline the different types of breathings that we can use. With the middle photo, they use like a pinwheel to do their deep breaths with. And then this is what we do on the right. Every morning, we do a morning greeting with our morning message. So this morning, my students chose to do a fist bump. So they stand up, go around the room, and they fist bump and say good morning to all of their peers. And then I don't know if this will play, but this is a video of me doing the Wish You Well heart. So when we take attendance, anyone who's not there, a friend will go up and put their name on our heart, and then we say, "We wish you well." And I don't know if it'll play, but. Oh, sorry. All right.
So again, we talked about Megan Carr and how she introduced you guys to our 99B project, and everything that we had, that we envisioned with the project. And I'm happy to say that, everything, well, not everything, majority of it is completed. This is just to let you guys know the timeline is on the wall and it's really coming to life. We have, students that are wondering, hey, what's this about? We have teachers that are talking to the students about the Perry project. At the top, that's a gentleman from high school. They came to bring, supplies for teachers. And when we worked on the 99D project, we really worked closely with the high school team. So we built that connection as well. And then we talked about the courtyard. So here's the signs in the courtyard, and some of the students really getting to understand that they got a kick out of, Mr. Perry. They didn't realize their school was named after a gentleman, so they got to see Mr. Perry and learn his history. And then the picture in the top left is actually one of our classrooms, so they got to see, they know what the classroom looks like now, but they got to see what the classroom looked like back then. So this is really what we envisioned for the 99D project. Glad you watched the speeches. Something we're proud of, doing songs, and not just songs, but So that was just a quick clip, just to let them know that, we're learning songs, but we're also learning skills through the song. So we're going to go right into MTSS. And then we're.
Yeah, so my name is Alyssa Dwan. I'm the 31A social worker at Perry. And this is our MTSS team here, Lisa Murray and Melanie Roundtree. We're very passionate and very proud of our MTSS process and how we do things at Perry. And this is our steps 1 through 4. Staff complete the MTSS referral form. They provide us a description of their concerns and things that they've already tried. After that, the MTSS reviews the submission and we schedule a meeting with the teacher and the team. The teacher then leaves the meeting with, number 4, the MTSS team and teacher meet to review that data and complete an action plan to support the student, and we support their families. And that way the teacher leaves the meeting with different strategies that they can use for the student. They gather that data, they take it for 4 to 6 weeks, and we continue to meet, just assessing the student's needs, seeing if they need further interventions.
And Melanie and I, in that process, try to sneak in some coaching for the teacher, to look and see if it is just individual children or is there a systemic thing at work in that classroom that we can tackle at a macro level, I guess. So these are some of the interventions and supports that we offer teachers. Every single thing up there, tier 1, 2, and 3, we provide. Alyssa and I have also, and Melanie too, developed a drive where teachers can go. So if you need a social story, you can come to me, but you can also go to the drive so that teachers, if they just need something quick and they don't want to go through the whole process, whatever we've developed, we put in a drive to share with everyone.
Yeah, and this is just evidence of one of our students' growth. You'll see their progress. On the left, the number of behavioral incidents, you'll see that it decreased over the year. The student was referred to us in December, had some chronic stress at home, was eloping from the classroom, having big reactions. So we worked with the teacher and decided to implement visual schedule, behavior chart that went home to the parent daily. Also offering classroom breaks, allowing additional time for the student to complete transitions, and then giving the family, community, and district support. We saw behavior improve by 38%, and the student was added to my caseload, and we had a 504 plan made for them. But a great success story for this student and the teacher. This one.
So I'm also a member of the MTSS team. And when I started at Perry, well, now 5 years ago, the MTSS system was like there in name, but it wasn't really being utilized. And there weren't really many structures in place. And so together, we built a small but mighty team. And we've really come to get everything like a formula down, structured. So we are meeting teachers regularly. And I'm all about collecting data, and I love a spreadsheet. And if it's not written down, it did not happen. So it's written down and it's happening. And so I'd like to go over just really quickly how our MTSS team has grown and the utilization. So last year, we had 23 total submissions as individual students, and that would be students that are not currently getting extra services, special education services through a resource room. So these are students that may have behavioral concerns, academic concerns, or, as usually happens, both. So this past year, we had 2 of our 6th grade 1 teachers utilize MTSS, 6 first grade students. Young 5s, we only have 2 classrooms, and one of the 2 teachers used it for 2 students. And then kindergarten, which is our biggest of the grade levels we serve, which is young 5s, kindergarten, and 1st grade. We had 7 of 7 kindergarten teachers use MTSS. 16 students were referred, and we have kindergarten teachers over there. They are 2 of the 7 who used it. And We're expanding it next year because we have seen it growing. And obviously, the fact that teachers keep referring students to MTSS, they see it's worthwhile. They come meet with us during their planning time. And if you know teaching, planning time is precious. So they wouldn't be taking planning time to come meet with us if they didn't feel like it was worthwhile. One thing we have been noticing over the years is that we have teachers referring multiple students, even within their own classroom, for very similar behaviors. And at that point, it's becoming more of a systems issue than an individual student issue. So we're expanding next year that we can, or this year is next year. We're here. We're going to expand to include class-wide and system-level supports. It could even be grade level. If we're noticing something like bullying or teasing is becoming rampant in a classroom, but it's not a particular student or two, let's tackle it as a whole group systemic issue. But we'll still follow up, put in same practices we would treat it with an individual student, but branch it out into the whole wider arena. Yeah, and it's really just to address those shared challenges and strengthen the learning environments. I think that was it. That's it.
We're all set? Oh.
Thank you, Perry community, all of these outstanding scholars and educators, parents and caregivers. Let's give everyone a big round of applause. Board members, do you have any questions or comments?
I do.
Vice President Lee and then Trustee Townsend.
Can you explain to me why there were so many kindergarten referrals?
Well, when we think about it, it's their first time being in a full day program. When we have kids that are in our preschool, but they in the afternoon they take naps. Also, the workload in kindergarten is a little bit more than what they see in preschool. So it's just it takes some getting used to. We're also finding some students who didn't go to preschool, where kindergarten is their first school experience. So we're really,
Okay. You see that. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Trustee Townsend.
So, thank you for your presentation, Mr. Dickerson,
Uh-huh.
and to your team. So my question was in regards to first grade, why wouldn't the teachers why you had less teachers utilize the resources? Did they come up with other ways to, transition the child to do whatever they needed the child to do, or I'm just interested in that part.
Yeah. So another point of pride is our years of service at Perry. So we have a lot of experienced teachers, and we have a lot of teachers that they connect well with the families, they connect well with their students, and they develop interventions in their classroom. And they find ways to manage the situation within their classroom. But again, we're all learners. We can continue learning. And like Melanie said, as we, build our MTSS program, teachers are starting to see that and they're starting to utilize it. So even though they have these skills, they have the years of experience, a lot of teachers are still coming to the MTS team asking for support. So I think that's.
Thank you.
So I did this, but I wish I'd gone back to last year because some years teachers just don't. So last year, I believe all but one of our first grade teachers did utilize MTSS. And this is not a referral, like as far as the referral is for supports. It's not something punitive whatsoever. It's trying to be proactive. So we encourage teachers to use this. And some years it's going to look different, but kindergarten, again, that is by and large our largest grade level. So you're going to see more. They need more support. There are more of them.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any other board questions or comments? Mr. Dickerson, before you sit down, could we just have a show of who's in the audience with us? If there are Perry families here, if there are student scholars here, if they could stand up so they can be recognized by the board.
Sure. Oh, you all want to stand up? The Perry team?
And do we have any scholars with us this evening?
We don't this evening.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dickerson, and thank you to the entire Perry school community.
Yep, thank you.
Dr. Zachary Ross, I will turn it back over to you for the Holmes Elementary School Ambassadors presentation.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I will ask for our Holmes building principal, Mr. Zach Schutz, to come. And I know he has the Holmes ambassadors, if they will come join him. We are so excited. They spent the summertime in the first with this exciting inaugural program, and they will be sharing. I'm not going to steal their thunder because they really spent time this summer, and we're so proud of them. I know their families are here with them. Some of their families are here. So just excited to share about the Holmes ambassadors. These leaders are so impressive, board.
Good evening, trustees, Dr. Zachary Ross, Ypsilanti Community Schools. Thank you for having us here. My name is Zach Schutz. I am the very proud principal of Holmes STEAM Elementary School, and I am joined here tonight with 3 of our most excellent Holmes STEAM ambassadors and 2 of our most excellent Holmes STEAM ambassador coordinators. And so we're going to start off with our Holmes STEAM Ambassadors Pledge. So on the count of 3, you all will take it away. Are you ready? All right. 1, 2, 3.
STEAM Ambassador, I lead with respect, act with responsibility, and choose safety. I am a scholar of academic success. I commit to excellence every day and in every way.
Commit to excellence.
Every day.
Commit to excellence.
Every way.
Wow.
So in a moment, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Micah, who's standing right next to me. This summer, we had a 2-week program where we learned all about teamwork, grit, perseverance, integrity, and leadership. And that pledge was the first task that we all had as ambassadors. We had to memorize that. And we actually have the ambassador who did it first. She did it on the first day. And Morgan had it at the end of our first day of camp this summer. So props to Morgan. But here's Micah just to tell a little bit about that 2-week summer camp. What was your favorite part of our leadership camp?
My favorite part of the leadership camp was learning how to use the compass in different ways.
That's a great segue into the next slide. And Savannah can tell you a little bit more about those compasses and what we did with them.
What we did with the compasses is we were walking around a field and we had to find out many present, if you can see on the board with me and my group. And you had to use the compasses. You walked around, follow the steps and stuff. With a little map that Ms. Ozak is holding right now that we used. And we follow the map who we found our little present or something.
So it was actually way more complicated than Savannah suggested. They were out there with just a map with distances between 2 points, and they had to use their compass, and they had pace speeds, and they knew how many steps it took them to walk 100 meters. And we divided up into groups, and they went all around the high school campus to find a number of different prizes that were very small, just in the middle of the field or right on the edge of the woods, and they were able to locate those things. And now to Morgan to talk about our time in the pool.
In the pool, I started to work on floating in the pool and tried to hold on to try to flow and swim. And I let go of the gutter.
Every day we had the opportunity to be in the pool with all of the ambassadors. We had a lifeguard there, and most of the adults were in the pool as well with them, working on everything from basic swimming safety and water safety. And we had a few ambassadors jumping off the diving boards and doing some lengths of the pool, which was also really fun to do that. It was, I think, the highlight of the day every day to hop into the pool. Definitely better than being in the 85-degree heat following a compass around the yard in the high school. So this was, I'm going to hand this over to our coordinators in a second, but we together developed our path to excellence. So Miss Love, Miss Pumarada.
Hello, I'm Miss Love. So on our first day of our camp, we created and kind of talked about that we were going to have a path to excellence. And before we had students add some words to both the path and the grass next to it, we kind of talked about what it meant to be excellent, what does it mean to be a leader, and just had those conversations to really make sure that we were all on the same page, really working towards where we all wanted to go, which was to become a leader, an ambassador, and to commit to excellence. And on the very first day as well, we all created a rock with our name on it. So if they committed to our path, they would say, we commit today to whatever. So let's say we were committing to teamwork for that day. I commit to, and then we were able to place our rock in there.
She pretty much covered it. But like some of the examples of the things we might have committed to would be that I commit to being kind today, or I commit to listening to other people's ideas. There's something in Latin that we tried to say. What was that one again? It translated basically to teamwork.
Every day of camp, we had a different theme that we all practiced. We had our programming centered around that theme or value, and that's what we committed to every single day. Now, that's how our summer went. The year, our ambassadors every day are expected to uphold the values of Homestead Elementary School: respect, responsibility, and safety. And as you can tell, they have really awesome shirts and something very special next to the Homestead Magnet logo. What do y'all have right next to your logo right there? These pins, they earned this summer. They are gold and black. They say excellence on them. And that is something that they have earned the right to wear. And so they get to wear that every Friday. They come to school in their ambassador shirts with their pins on them. And it shows their leadership in our school. One of the things that is most exciting for our ambassadors is throughout the year, we will have ambassador lunch and learns with leaders. So once a month, we bring in a community leader to speak with our ambassadors, and we get all of our ambassadors together to have lunch together. We currently have 11 scholars who are ambassadors, and we have 2 application periods this year, one in the fall and one in the spring for additional ambassadors to join. And then every month, this first one is coming up, September 19th, we'll have he's got a new doctorate, an honorary doctorate. So Dr. Coach Dell is coming in September 19th. He's an author and speaker, and he will be our first lunch and learn leader to speak with our ambassadors. So I'm super proud of these 3 and the other 8 ambassadors of our initial cohort, they're all right here. And proud of the leadership that they show every day at our school, and excited to see them and the program grow. So thank you so much.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Could we have the scholars come back?
Micah,
And could they state
Or-
their name and what grade they're in?
Yes,
please?
yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Your name and your.
My name is Savannah and I am in 5th grade. My name is Micah and I am in 4th grade. My name is Morgan and I'm also in 4th grade.
Hey.
Thank you so much to the Holmes community, to these outstanding scholars, and to all the Holmes staff, educators who are with us, and parents, of course, and caregivers who are with us this evening. If we can ask them to stand at this time so we can give them a round of applause as well. Any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Townsend.
I actually had the opportunity to meet these scholars this past Friday at the football game, and I already had the preview of what's going to be said. And I was just so impressed with how passionate they talked about, you know, their experience at homes, the education that they're receiving. Their parents seemed very excited, and it was just really refreshing to see all of the good works that Mr. Schutz and his team are doing. I went to the open house that they have, and you could just feel all of the energy from the whole community, Holmes community. And so I just wanted to commend you and your team for that and the culture that you all are bringing to that school. And it's just exciting to see the level of excellence that is being taught at the school, as well as what is being put back out in the community from our children. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Townsend. Any other board questions or comments? Outstanding job. Thank you so much for the presentation, and thank you especially to our outstanding scholars. I love the bow.
I know.
All right, next that takes us to our YC2S book publication presentation. Dr. Zachary Ross.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have IPSI Connected and our book publication presentation. And I will invite their phenomenal leader, building leader, Principal Ingraham. Thank you so much.
I am so short. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having us share our authors here tonight. We have a few of them that will be sharing some of their writings. We have a copy of our 3 published books that we have done throughout the years for each board member off to the side for you. And I am going to first thank not only my families for coming tonight. Oh, thank you. That was great. Yeah, appreciate it. But also my illustrious staff. I have Ms. Hannaran, Mrs. Smith, and Mrs. Reeves. And Mrs. Reeves was one of our staff that kind of headed a few of the projects with the middle school publication, but we also have elementary publication as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Reeves, and our scholars, when they come up, will say their name, their current grade, and then they can read a little bit or share about being a published author. Okay?
Excellent.
Thank you. Thanks to our fearless leader. I'm Mrs. Reeves, and I wrote a little speech here. But at IPSI Connected Community School, affectionately known as YC Squared, we believe that every student is a published author waiting to be discovered. So we begin and end with excellence when it comes to writing. Our school-wide writing initiative is driven by a commitment to excellence, pushing students towards writing mastery and proficiency across all grade levels, K through 8. It's a journey that began a couple years ago with my 8th grade class that is now probably in 11th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. And the project was called Bridging the Gap. This project culminated in a student-created self-published book that was funded by a grant from the IPSI or Ypsilanti Community Schools Foundation mini grant. With that grant and the utilization of a local print company, we published our first book. This past school year, building on that success, our ELA teachers, under the direction and guidance and collaboration with Mrs. De Maria, our media center specialist, AKA everything else, collaborated to publish books at the elementary level and at the middle school level. And we published 2 books. The elementary will tell you about theirs, and the middle school one with another version of Bridging the Gap with the actual title, Bridging the Gap. And this one was published by Student Treasures. So you'll see the difference between self-published and Student Treasures published. But we had to start somewhere, right? So our ambitious goal is to have every student publish a book annually, maybe twice a year. We'll see how it goes. Turning a lofty vision into a reality and making our students not just master writers, but also published authors. And so we have some members, some family members. We're a school family. So we have some students, staff, and if they could join us. Yeah, so start with elementary.
Let's see.
In 20 years, I will be 26 years old and I will be a dentist living in a mansion. I will be in Michigan, then I'll be living in Mexico, then I will be living then in Colombia. My name is Shane. Was second grade.
Open your book.
All right. So my first and last name is Levi Overby. My grade is fourth grade. In 20 years, I will be 28 years old, and I will be living in California, and I will be in the Air Force, and I will be married and have one kid.
Perfect.
My name is Bella LeBrew and I'm in sixth grade. My name is Bella LeBrew and I'm in sixth grade. And in 20 years, I will be 31 because I am 11 right now in 2025. I will be a billionaire. Also, I will be a YouTuber. I would like to do role plays in Roblox. I also plan on taking care of animals. It would be a dream to have 4 kids of with my own 2 big mansions and a nice big car with my own animals, but not any type of animals. I would love to have 1 female fox, 1 male fox, 2 kids, and a German Shepherd with a pup. My best friend and I will live in Alaska and we will go on vacations a lot. Maybe we might have Warrior Cat books together.
Awesome. Wait. What'd you call this?
So they're illustrated as well. So
My name is Juliana and I am in sixth grade. I'm 10 and in 20 years I'll be 30 years old. My dream as an adult is big, is something I hope I can achieve. I hope I can move to Alaska and in in the middle of the forest with a
what clearing? Are you supposed to be with Bella? Is that the deal? You and Bella are gonna hang out in Alaska? Good job, Julia. Oh, that's true.
About middle school would be that you're going to have a lot of work to do. So some of the work will be hard, but if you ask for help, some people will help you, some not. Um, you're probably gonna get frustrated by some work, but you gotta take a lot of notes because it's gonna help you out in the long run. Finally, in the 6th grade, you will have classes about 5 to 7 teachers. If you're going to middle school, please take my advice. Keep a binder with you with your class schedule so there's no getting confused. You're gonna learn a lot of new things, like new art styles and new ways to make things blow up. You're gonna even learn how to code a computer or even your own game one day. Middle school is gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you.
So as a former grad of YC Squared, it's just evident. Tell me about your experience now.
High school?
Yeah, because okay, so Bridging the Gap is about the bridge between elementary to middle school, but now we have a high schooler that bridged from middle school to high school. Did you take your own advice?
Yeah.
You want to tell me a little?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did not think I was taking notes, but I did. Taking notes really saved me. I was not remembering anything, and even my mom can tell you that I didn't want to take notes. But when I actually did, it helped me with mostly math. Everything else, not really, but math did help me a lot, and it helped me succeed, which in getting me on a roll all year. So it really helps. Currently going to Ypsilanti Community High School, and afterwards I'll be using the Upper Bound program and Bright Futures, and they help a lot.
Awesome. So thank you so much, scholars, families. It is so exciting to see an alumni, for us at least, and that he is still within the district and he is doing so well. So that's very exciting. Like I said, we have a set of the books for each of you to have that's on the board. And are there any? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to ask this question?
Thank you so, so much for this outstanding presentation. A huge, huge thanks to all of these scholars who presented today. And the fact that we have publishers is this is just joy, pure joy. You all are doing an outstanding job. Before we move to congratulations, I just want to take a minute to have our scholars stand. If you would, ask them to stand, please.
You are. Yeah, that's you too.
Can we give all of these outstanding scholars a round of applause? Can we also invite our parents and caregivers to stand at this time? And last but not least, again, to your fearless educators and staff at Ipsy Connected. And they wouldn't be fearless without you as their leader. So thank you so very much for all that you do every single day for our scholars and this community.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I appreciate the support of the board, especially with such a very different educational opportunity, but it works for those that need it. So it's really exciting.
Well done. Thank you.
Madam President,
Do we have any, I don't think Ms. Ingraham is leaving. Do we have any board questions or comments?
Madam President, I would like to make a comment. I just want to commend these young folks, these scholars, for their bravery and courage in not only writing their own stories, but getting up and reading those stories out loud. I know many people and probably in this room who are not comfortable going up to a mic and reading out loud. So for you all to do this in this space and on this stage is incredible. And I just want to give you another round of appreciation for how cool that was for you to do. So
Yes.
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trustee Espy. Any other board comments or questions?
I want to ditto what Trustee Epstein said as well. And looking at publishing at such a young age, I mean, that's the start of something, you know what I mean? And it started here at YCS, you know what I mean? In our
Of
community.
course it would.
Yes, of course it would. So with these published books, are they like on Amazon? Are they on Readable? You know, I know we have our copies, but how can anyone else besides, you know, us on the board have access to these books?
That's an excellent question, Trustee Fields. Ms. Ingraham, would you mind coming back to the mic to?
There is a order sticker on the front of the book for student treasures. And then we'll see what we do next as they really end up doing more of the self-publish. And also, when you guys come and visit, if you bring your books, I'll make sure your authors sign your copies. Okay? Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't do it up front. That way you have to come to us and come see us.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Trustee Fields, any other board questions or comments? All right, thanks again. Thank you. Next, that takes us to, we are at item 5 on our agenda for this evening under Student Affairs. And our first action item is the acceptance of a field trip to the Toledo Zoo. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, Trustee Townsend, move that the Board of Education approve the field trip for Home STEAM Elementary School to the Toledo Zoo on September 26, 2025.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Townsend. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Fields, I support.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Fields. Any questions, board members? Seeing none, a motion was made by Trustee Townsend, supported by Trustee Fields. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to our presentation for this evening, which is from the Grizzly Learning Camp. And at this time, I will turn it back over to Dr. Zachary Ross to introduce this presentation.
Thank you, Madam President. We know the Grizzly Learning Camp is an exciting time, and each year we have an opportunity for us to hear about how the Grizzly Learning Camp went by Dr. Cascarella. And so at this time, I invite Dr. Cascarella up to share about the camp and how it turned out. Thank you, Dr. Cascarella.
Good evening, Dr. Hawkins, trustees. Thank you, Dr. Zachary Ross. Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be in front of you. I'm certainly glad you had an action item in before I had to follow the scholars, because those are tough acts to follow. And I also commend a school board that will take almost an hour to hear from their scholars. That really speaks of what you all value as a group. So very commendable. Along those lines, Grizzly Learning Camp. So today we're just going to talk briefly about some thank yous, some planning, a little bit of funding that we did, talk a lot about participation, and what we can do even better for next year. I want to start off with thank yous. I'm not going to mention everyone up there because as soon as you start mentioning names, you unintentionally forget someone. And I just want to say thanks to everyone that groups that are up there. We couldn't do it without the full partnership of all of those wonderful folks. Also, we had many outside partners, many folks that are new to us, and then some that are tried and true friends. A couple that are new, especially the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. They reached out to me actually in January, talking about trying to get all of our fourth grade scholars to visit one of the state parks. And I said, yes, and we'll make that happen. And, oh, by the way, would you like to partner with us for Grizzly Learning Camp? And they said, what do you have in mind? And so we put together a program for kids to go out to Camp Waterloo. I'll show you some pictures in just a minute. It was a wonderful experience for our scholars to go out to Camp Waterloo. We also had another group that contacted me, Meridian Medicaid Group. They're based out of Detroit. They wanted to come and do two things, provide some hands-on materials for kids, giveaways, and then also an opportunity for their staff to meet some of our scholars. So they donated over 700 bags full of sidewalk chalk, jump ropes, frisbees, all kinds of things that kids can play with and entertain themselves with over the summer for our pre-K through fourth grade campers. It was an amazing experience. They came out to Estabrook on the first day and were present and ended up spending some time in the classrooms. The word has gotten out. People are now coming to us and saying, hey, we want to partner with you. When we first started Grizzly Learning Camp 5 years ago now, we were going out to partners saying, hey, do you want to do this? And they're like, what it's about. Now they're coming to us, which I think speaks well of the program. Some of the logistics, we started June 16th. There was a week between the traditional calendar and when Grizzly Learning Camp started. It was 6 weeks long, ended on August 1st, take off the week of July 4th, because we do want families to go out and have some summer vacation. You see the locations that we held Grizzly Learning Camp and the various grade levels. We did have staggered times. Notice on the bottom of this slide with a picture, our high school scholars got to go see The Wiz during the summertime and go backstage and meet several of the actors. So that was a really fun experience for them. Transportation, we continue to work on transportation to make sure that our kids got an opportunity to come to Grizzly Learning Camp for the scholars that wanted to go. So we made sure that we had hubs to make busing routes a little bit easier in the summertime. Buses were provided for every Grizzly scholar that wanted one. We did have the tiers, as I mentioned to before, to make the transportation a little bit more smooth. We also had offered a 6-hour minimum. As we got talking with our bus drivers in coordination with our HR director, Sue McCarty, it became obvious that why would a bus driver drive 30 miles to a job and only work 4 hours? When they're working during the traditional year, they're working most of the day. So we said, okay, what do you have in mind? And they said, well, guarantee us at least 6 hours. So we did that, and we have enough drivers now to run Grizzly Learning Camp along with a stipend for attendance. We had 48 staff members that were eligible for the stipend attendance. I'm happy to say that we had, out of those 48 members, 45 members had perfect attendance this summer for Grizzly Learning Camp as they came. So they got a little bit of an extra bonus based on their attendance, which again, really provided an incentive for those folks to make sure that they were driving. Love the pictures down there with some of the kids enjoying some of the things that they're doing during camp. We began planning just about a year ago. We do that every year, started a year in advance in planning, included executive cabinet. All staff are invited to give feedback. And we also got formal feedback from families as well. Here are some highlights from the Camp Waterloo State Park, which is out near Chelsea. Funny anecdote, the teacher right here I'm circling up on the overhead screen, his name is Bill. I used to teach with Bill a long time ago. So the world is small, round, and connected. And Bill has since retired from his teaching job, and now he works out at Camp Waterloo. and is working with some of our scholars out there. Highlights from tennis. A new partner this year was Blue Sky Tennis Camp. And again, another one partner that contacted me and said, hey, we want to do some things for tennis. So our scholars got an opportunity to play tennis. There were 2 different sessions for 4th grade students to play tennis right here at our tennis courts. They might say, well, tennis, but it's summer school. I mean, where's the connection? Well, our teachers were also playing tennis with the scholars, and they incorporated social studies and science and math into the tennis lessons. So they learned about people like Arthur Ashe and Venus and Serena Williams and all of the social studies and history lessons behind tennis, incorporating that too. So it was a wonderful experience. At the end of camp, each scholar got their own tennis racket to keep, as well as a bag of balls, because you can't play tennis if you don't have a racket and balls to play with. So they had a great experience. It was really fun for them. Thankfully, it didn't rain any day, so all of our contingency plans were not needed. There was also robotics with our 4th grade through 8th grade students. We bought 3 robotics kits with the Magnet Grant. And the robotics kits, you've probably seen maybe some of the commercials or some of the programs where students build robots and they go crash them and run into each other. Our robots were a little bit different. They certainly built the robots and they coded them, but they played soccer rather than smashing them. They were playing a competitive game. So they had to use the mats in front of them to take the ball, and you can see it in the bottom lower left picture. The red ball is right in the middle, and program their robot to move the ball and score a goal. University of Michigan Museum of Natural History is a partner that's been with us since the very beginning. The students get to look at microscopes, electric microscopes, and do some dissecting. This is one of my all-time favorite pictures. The scholar in the middle didn't really appreciate the dissection of this panfish. So, I'm not sure if it was the smell or just the idea or both, but you can see the student was really engaged in what was going on, and they actually did have a fun experience afterwards, but I do like that picture. Our ACE students got to visit Hitsville, USA in Detroit. They were very excited about being able to visit this museum. They were actually the last group that visited the museum, as it's going under major renovations this summer. So they were very excited to go. The 40 scholars from ACE that participated in Grizzly Learning Camp recovered 159 credits this summer. And they had 2 graduates that had enough credits that graduated over the summer. Something new that we instituted pre-K through 4th grade. In about February, Kristen Rickman, who's an instructional coach at Estabrook, came to me and said, we need to do some stuff to increase our ELA and reading scores. And she had an idea, well, let's do some phonics lessons a little bit each day. And I said, great, let's talk more about it. Let's talk with the principals. Let's talk with the teachers. Because the one thing that we don't want to lose out of Grizzly Learning Camp is the fun aspect of it too. We don't want this to become a drill and kill and they're in school all day. We want them to get out when the weather's nice and do both, because I do believe you can do both. So we said, okay, and we put a program together where all of the teachers, pre-K through 4th, did a phonics lesson, about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the developmental level and the age of the students. And they also introduced math games. We have a new math curriculum this fall, so it was an opportunity for our scholars and teachers to get a look at what the new math games would be this fall. It was a wildly successful program. You can see in pre-K through 1st grade, pre and post test, because we did do some pre and post testing. There was a 6.83 point average improvement just in 6 weeks, in 4 days a week, half a day, with about 10 minutes less per lesson. In 2nd through 4th grade, about 2.86 average test improvement. And you might say, well, that's a lot lower than the pre-K. Yes, that's true. And because they're older, it takes a little bit more to increase those test scores a little bit higher. But that's really nice improvement. No surprise, we saw a high correlation with the students that attended more with their pre and post test. No surprise with those. Scholars did participate in daily math games as well, and they loved it. The teachers loved it, high engagement, and again, it was a preview for what was to come this fall. The funding sources that we used our debt relief funds. Those funds mainly went towards the salaries and benefits for our staff. The Magnet Grant, as I mentioned, paid for the robotics kits as well as a few other things. Our Title I mainly paid for the learning excursions, i.e. field trips, and also people that we brought in to Grizzly Learning Camp, as well as the LEAP grant provided books and professional development learning opportunities for our Grizzly Learning Camp. So participation and attendance, you'll see in the very first column, these are our grade bands. Those bands have been the same since the inception of Grizzly Learning Camp. And then the locations. And then the 4 remaining columns are the years that Grizzly Learning Camp has gone. And so you can see from 2022, we had 1,100 students registered. This last year, we had 1,573 students registered for Grizzly Learning Camp. This year, I asked the coordinators to take attendance and report it to me on Mondays. Now, rest assured, they take attendance every day, and the teachers know who's in school every day, so everyone is safe. But I wanted it to report to me so I could get a handle on how many kids are coming approximately. And what's really important to me is how many no-shows do we have? And so out of the 1,500 kids, there are 268 no-shows. That means a student never showed up for one day of Grizzly Learning Camp. Our teachers called, our teachers emailed, invited those scholars to come. When we were able to make contact, we said, we'd love to have you come. Is there a reason why you weren't able to come? And some just said, well, our plans changed, or we had family vacations, or we moved. So it wasn't anything necessarily to do with our programming. It was things that were going on with families, and we understand that. We're still going to try to get 100% of them next year, that if they registered, that they continue to come. The average daily attendance, at least for Mondays, across all grade levels was 61%. So we'd like to see that attendance a little bit higher. But what inevitably happens is that the kids will come a couple of days, and then they might take off a Thursday, or they might take off a Monday. And so I just attribute that to family vacations and schedules and someone waking up in the day and going, wow, it's a nice day. I don't want to go to school. So a little bit of data, which I think is a good thing. All in all, we had 6 weeks, 24 days, 96 hours, and just lots and lots of learning and fun during Grizzly Learning Camp. You can see some of the flyers that the schools made to invite folks in to see those showcases. Things that we want to make sure that we continue for next year. We give students a choice and a voice as much as possible, where teachers will select a project-based learning. And so the second and third selections, for example, at the middle school, they can pick from crocheting, games, mini golf. They also have escape room. So the scholars get to pick something that they're interested in. Well, so that will certainly continue. We're going to continue the math and phonics. I think the time that we spent on it was just about right. Spending too much more time may take away some of the fun and the opportunities for our kids. So the 10 to 15 minutes felt like it was about right. And the staff gave feedback that that was true as well. Staff flexibility, we don't tell the teachers that they have to work all 6 weeks. We allow them to work a couple of weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and that really helps, gets more people involved. Continue with project-based learning. It's open to all students. The length of day, I think families would love to see it all day and have all day options. Our staff is tired too. And so they appreciate the break. They appreciate the half days. So folks that need the extra money can work, and folks that just love working in the summer can do that, but they like and enjoy having the rest of the afternoon as well. The on-site learning, they absolutely love that, and working with partners. The opportunities for our kids that have been provided through Grizzly Learning Camp with our partners is just immense. We can't go it alone. Some growth for next year. We're going to continue to work with transportation to make sure we get kids routed early and information is given out. It's always a challenge when we keep registration open and then try to get information to our transportation department. So we're going to continue on that pipeline and make sure that our kids do that. And we'll also brainstorm ways to encourage attendance and welcome families to attend Grizzly Learning Camp for next year. Some feedback from the staff. I'm not going to read all of these to you, but the two questions that are highlighted with graphs up there, the time of camp and the length of camp, and staff overwhelmingly appreciate the half day and the 4 hours of camp for each day. Things that they do that they really appreciate are the fun activities and love the partnership with things like Blue Sky Tennis. Some feedback. One person suggested that we order shirts once we actually see the students. That's rather hard because it takes about 2 weeks to get the order in and then delivered. So we want to make sure they have their t-shirts on the first day. Feedback from staff, because we did survey families, excuse me. We did survey families as well. Overwhelmingly positive feedback. They loved it. The science and the peers and the teachers, the communication, the fun activities. You can see a couple of the things that we can improve upon, and we will look closely at those to try to do even better job next year. You can see in the bottom right-hand picture, there's a hydroponics lab that the scholars got to visit and learn about planting things. I love this picture. The only thing I wish about this picture is they had the horse's head in it, but it's just one of those pictures that you just look at it and just absolutely grabs you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Coscarella. Wow. Packed a lot into the summer. And it looks like the kids had an amazing experience. Board members, do you have any questions or comments?
Yes, I had a question. Do you have any numbers in regards to how many students that attend the camp that are outside of the district?
I can get that for you because we do include that on the registration sheet. So I will get that number and get it for you.
Madam President, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Vice President Lee.
Okay. When the students didn't show up, was there a waiting list for other students to come? And if so, were you able to call those students to attend the camp or no?
Yeah, the registration closed for preschool and kindergarten because we were full at those grades. So if they were in those grades and we did have a waiting list, we did call them. The other grade levels we kept open. We didn't exclude anyone because we were full. But preschool especially fills up very fast, and we're limited because of the licensing requirements. So yes, we did have a waiting list and we did make those phone calls.
Okay, because there were like 268 was no show. So you call like every day or what?
You mean the students that never showed
Showed
up?
up? How did you handle that?
Yeah, I wasn't involved in every school and how they did it, but I know that phone calls were made to each one of those scholars or emails, and it were multiple attempts.
Okay, so was there like a cutoff date that you stopped calling them and then went to the wait list or no?
Oh, I see what you're asking. So
Yeah.
like at preschool and kindergarten, you're specifically interested in that? Yeah, when I think we said like the first week, if there was room, we put them in because attendance was so low anyway that we were making those calls right away, even at preschool and first grade through kindergarten. Because attendance was so low, we actually combined one preschool room with that. So anyone that wanted to come, there were spaces.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Trustee Goodrich and then Trustee Fields.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Dr. Coscarella. I just wanted to acknowledge the how incredibly important I think it is that we have kept this free and available to all students, and to acknowledge the challenge that creates with attendance. I know for families trying to piece together the summer activities for their kids is a challenge and a full-time job for part of the year. And I think that this program fills a really important niche. And because it is free, it's, I recognize that families are sometimes filling in other plans. And so that is a challenge on the planning side for our district. But I appreciate that we have continued this. I think this is one of the many amazing things our district did during COVID. And I'm
glad that we continue to have this summer learning opportunity that is available to all, and that it's not just about remediation and that it's not stigmatized. So I applaud the work that you and all the staff did.
Trustee Fields.
My turn already.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like on, with Trustee Vice President Lee was asking, data wise, when she was asking about the follow-up, like for those, do you guys kind of keep some sort of data to find out why they weren't, if you did get an answer, right? And then you use that maybe for future to say, oh, okay, maybe they thought it was a time, and you kind of look at, you know what I mean, take that in consideration under your planning to decide, okay, next year, because we didn't get this many kids, or the parents said, whatever their reasons were, and you utilize that for next summer?
Yes,
data?
absolutely.
Okay.
So
And what did you find? I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No,
what
it's
did you
all right.
find was like the main, maybe, if you could say that in your data, like, well, maybe the reason, a higher number of why they didn't come?
right. I kind of put their answers in two buckets. One was they made a choice, family vacation, a work obligation, something that, you know, they made a different choice. And then something that maybe we could have done better. And this is the area that I focused on. And so one of the things that keeps coming up year after year after year is the half day, especially for working families.
Yeah.
So we are in talks with one of our partners to see if they can do programming in the afternoon, especially for our younger students. Many of the middle school students are getting to be old enough where they can go home and be alone for a couple hours and they'll be okay, but the younger students can't. So that's an example of, we did take that information and we're trying to mitigate against some of that.
Thank you.
Any other board questions or comments?
Um,
Trustee Townsend.
I will say, like I said, I think it's an excellent program, but it's also a great marketing tool to get increased enrollment overall. Again, there's not a lot of districts doing this. So it would be good, like, have you all talked about how to increase your marketing efforts to tie into enrollment, whatever the enrollment goal is? Because I know just by funneling calls from Park Ridge, we were pushing people back to YCS, and there were a lot of calls from other districts, and we were pushing them to YCS simply because it is free. It didn't matter what district you live in. So I just think that's a major area where we could probably increase marketing opportunities to get kids to.
And keep kids here.
Because
Yes.
we have a lot to offer.
We do.
We do. I echo all the sentiments just shared by Trustee Townsend and others. And I was looking on my phone for this email. Just by happenstance, I was starting the summer and I was excited about being off from EMU and ran into one of my colleagues and we got into a conversation about camp and summer. And I said, you should check out Grizzly Learning. She's not part of our district. So this is always a plug for me to say, do this, to your point. And then she sent me an email at the start of the semester and she said, I wanted to thank you again for telling me about this Grizzly Learning Camp this summer. I was able to get my son and daughter signed up and they loved it. So I think I'm a little marketer. So I'm gonna take this show on the road and tell lots of folks to the points already made. But it was just a casual conversation, right? Just like giving her options. Look at this, and I'm like telling her all the things we do at Grizzly Learning, and just sign up. And then for her to I think when someone takes the time to send you an email back to say thank you so much, they had a great experience. They had a great experience, right? Because people either are going to say great things if they had a good experience or bad things if they didn't have a great experience, right? So I just wanted to share that with you just as a testament to I know how outstanding this camp is and how hard everyone works in the summer to make sure our kids have a really great learning experience. Well, I should say our scholars, not our kids. So, and it's 100% free.
100%.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Madam President, I
Yes.
just have a comment kind of as you think about that, or as you named in that, it's burdened me. As a parent, I oftentimes am trying to figure out camps for the children, and a lot of these camps, they're filling in January, February, March, and cut off. And so it's really exciting to know that the Grizzly Learning Camp has enrollment that goes a little bit further into the school year. And I also imagine as you think about those who don't show up, there's probably a number of people who may have registered as potentially a backup, right? Or, well, this is at least something we can register for because there is so much availability and the openness of the program we have. So the recognition that, yes, we don't have all of those folks come to the camp, but the reasons why they're not coming are not connected to the services or the camp, like
That's right.
the quality of the camp. So
Right.
I just wanted to make that comment because I know I've definitely added extra things on the schedule, hoping to figure out, well, at least we have it on here. And if we make plans, oh, well, but because you do have to put those you have to make those decisions well before it's time to actually go to those camps in the summer.
Very true.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other? Yes, trustee Sutton Kennedy.
What Don just said, or trustee SB just said, it just gave me an idea, and I was wondering if there's any way for us to include on our form that folks are 100% interested, or if you're just signing up as a backup. That way we could prioritize families that are dedicated to attending the program, and then say if space still remains at the end, we'll follow up with those who just needed this as a backup option. Just so in the cases where the classes are full, we aren't, reserving those spaces and folks aren't even really planning on attending. So I just wanted to throw that idea out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Sutton Kennedy. Any other comments? Thank you, Dr. Coscarella.
Thank you.
Next, that takes us to public comments, and I will read the public comment protocol and invite our member of the public to address the Board of Education. Pursuant to Board of Education Policy 0167.3, the board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express their views. Please limit statements to 3 minutes in duration. Participants shall direct all comments to the board and not to staff or other participants. No person may address or question board members individually, and all remarks shall be made in a respectful and professional manner. Jeremy Haley.
Good evening, Jeremy Haley, Ipsy Township. Pardon me there. I was I was a passenger in a car that got T-boned not this weekend, on the 30th of August, so. New glasses and everything, and I don't know what's up with got them today, and my vision's doing something funny. Looks like already on like a little hill or something, but we won't go there. What I wanted to do is talk about AI, artificial intelligence. And basically, I'm just going to come out and say it's a deflationary technology on the economy. And what I mean by that, people are losing more jobs than it's creating. Really is. Law firms are not hiring paralegals. They're not hiring junior attorneys. They're having a computer do it. So who's going to replace the senior attorneys when the senior attorneys retire? Just recently saw a video of a company that does CNC manufacturing. All their CNC manufacturing machines are made with artificial intelligence. All the person does, they were showing, is just go over to the pallet, grab the block of metal, go back to the machine, CNC machine, put it in, lock it in, and press the green button for the artificial intelligence. And there's been a study with a radiologist where they didn't have radiologists do their thing for 30 days and let the artificial intelligence do the scans. And they noticed when the radiologists got back to work, they were dumbed down a little bit. The lack of skill they didn't use over that period of time because they're relying on a computer. And that is what I've been noticing across sectors of things. It's dumbing down people because they're relying on it too much that it'll give them everything that they need. They don't have to go search for things. People don't know how to go search for things no more. Oh, go to the book. Oh, I'll just ask the computer. Some people don't know what a book is sometimes or how to find things. And within the schools, I don't know if it's being taught as, hey, it's going to change everything and it's the greatest thing ever. It should be taught with this. It's a tool to help you aid in life. It's not to take over it. One kid, teenage young boy, killed himself over an AI chatbot who convinced him to do it. People are having relationships with these artificial intelligences as if they were people. They are not in the way they're being taught. And right now in Ypsi Township, Augusta Township, Saline Township, and Bridgewater Township, you have data centers coming into Washtenaw County. They're using drinkable, potable water. It's going to be in the millions of gallons a day. There's a plan across the country to build 90 gigawatts of natural gas fired power plants to feed these machines. Okay? That's going to shoot up our electrical prices. It's going to shoot up our heating of our homes just for the use of the machines. And I heard here you want to go to Tesla teaching robots. I mean, didn't we learn our thing when we masked all our kids a few years ago and all the cognitive and speeching problems they incurred because of it, because they couldn't see nobody's lips for facial expressions? Some of those kids are still feeling that today. And just doing it as a precautionary tale to not just jump head first into it, look into it and be cautious. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy Haley, and I hope you feel better. Next, we have Dana Smith. Is that correct?
I'm a YCS parent and I'm a student athlete parent, not a good public speaker. This is about fundraising for soccer. In 2023, we were given permission to do online fundraising, and we used the SnapRaise forum for fundraising. We've raised through two of the boys season, two soccer season, we have raised after SnapRaise took their cut, $15,700. And we haven't gotten clarification on if and how the funds that we raised have been spent. I know that we purchased new goals, which came to $4,000, and that was at the beginning of the 2024 season. Beyond that, I don't know if that was spent or purchased with our money that we raised, or if it was from the athletic department money. And I haven't been able to get clarification from the coach or the team manager, who have requested clarification from AD Brown as to, like, you know, we raised the money for scoreboard, field improvements, dugouts, and new goals. And so far, we've just had the goals purchased. And so I was just hoping the school board could maybe help with getting, or you, Superintendent Zachary Ross, getting clarification on if and how the funds that we raise have been spent, or could they be spent for the things that we raise them for?
Thank you for addressing the board, Dana Smith. Someone will follow up with you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment cards that have come in? Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Next, that takes us to the consent agenda. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, Trustee Townsend moved that the Board of Education approve the August 18th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. Number 2, personnel matters as per the presented list dated September 3rd. Is that supposed to be 2025?
Yes.
New hires, resignations, and terminations.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Townsend. Is there support for this motion?
Support Trustee Sutton Kennedy.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Sutton Kennedy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to item 9 on our agenda. Under action items, we are at business and finance, and we have the approval to purchase a Triumph modular 4-classroom portable. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, Vice President Lee, move that the Board of Education approve the Sourcewell Cooperative contract to purchase a Triumph Modular 4-classroom portable with complete installation at Homestein Elementary School for $1,353,800.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Vice President Lee. Is there support for this motion?
Support trustee Townsend.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Townsend. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, a motion was made by Vice President Lee, supported by Trustee Townsend. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to the approval of a change order to the thermal mechanical. Is there a motion at this time?
Trustee Sutton Kennedy, move that the Board of Education approve the purchase and complete installation of 2 new modular boilers and the demolition of the existing boiler at the Ypsilanti Community High School from Thermal Mechanical Services for $428,800.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Sutton Kennedy. Is there support for this motion?
Support trustee Townsend.
Thank you. Supported by Trustee Townsend. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, a motion was made by Trustee Sutton Kennedy, supported by Trustee Townsend. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, that takes us to the SIS for teachers, purchase of a curriculum mapping and MTSS intervention to support MyKIP. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, I move that the Board of Education approve the SIS for teachers purchase of our K through 5 Reveal/SIS curriculum mapping process and aligned MTSS interventions to support student achievement as monitored through the MyKIP process in the amount of $90,800.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Espy. Is there support for this motion? Thank you. Supported by Trustee Fields. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, motion made by Trustee Espy, supported by Trustee Fields. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, that takes us to our second portion of our public comments for this evening, and I do not think any comments have come in, so we'll move on to item number 11 under discussions, which is our Board of Education Subcommittee reports. Are there any subcommittee reports at this time?
Trustee Sutton Kennedy. I'll just remind everyone of the legislative breakfast on Monday at 7:30.
Thank you. Trustee Sutton Kennedy, Monday at 7:30. Thank you so much. Any other reports? I know we're just starting back up and getting in the swing of things, so we don't have much to report on right now. Okay, sounds good. Okay,
I
thank
wanna
you,
name
Trustee
that-
Fields.
My apologies. I want to name that the Sexual Education Advisory Board meetings have been scheduled for the year or the semester at least. And so we are going to be getting started with that soon, and we'll have updates coming forward from there.
Thank you, Trustee Espy.
And I believe the YCS Foundation meeting is this Wednesday as well, but we will be traveling.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Townsend. Okay, that takes us to Board Superintendent comments. Board comments?
I would just like to say that I had a great time on Friday, even though we lost. But it was good to see the students and parents. We did that, as far as my church participated in the tailgate, the STEAM night. And it was just a good look to see the line all the way back to
The
the
Packard.
street. I haven't
Mhm.
seen that in a long time for a YCS game. And it was the energy. And we had a lot of people from Lincoln like, well, I think they're gonna try to outdo us next year.
Oh.
But yeah. But anyway, but it was really, really nice. The food trucks, it was just a nice vibe for a first game. So kudos to Dr. Harris Hugan and her team. Of course, kudos always to our facilities and the athletic department. Our team looked good, and it was just great to have that. We haven't had that many people at a game in a long time, and I'm just was like, I wanted to go home and get my big bangles and my sweatsuits, back out, put a French roll in, and just get out there like it was
Not a French
1992.
roll.
But it was nice. I was like, oh wow, this is nice. So just kudos to the entire YCS team. That was a great first game in the vibe, as far as how everything was. And so thank you.
Trustee Fields, I was too there. It was really nice. And we looked really good. I love the idea of the food trucks. It was crowded. It was crowded. It was crowded. Gave us an idea to know we got to work on some things though to get with that crowd because we were not prepared. We were not prepared for such a thing. You know what I mean? So it was beautiful to see.
That's a good
honestly.
to have, right?
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but we can look at that and say, okay, now we gotta have to do something different as far as that crowd control. Cause it was in there. We gotta do something about them bees too. I'm just kidding. But allergic bees, but they were atrocious in the stand. But I had my swiper thing. I was electrocuting them, so they weren't messing with me. But it was a beautiful thing. Like Trustee Townsend said, it was a good game. Oh my God. I have not seen a game like that for our team in a while. I mean, when I tell you those stands was up, we was up,
Yeah,
we was
could hear the
like,
crowd.
I'm just saying, we really looked good. I was so proud and so geeked. I just hope we could have put it through, but it was a good game. It was close. Only lost by 1 point. So, but yeah, it looked good. I just,
Yes, and the athletic department is doing a great job with marketing. They're doing a great job. There was-
we down there, down there, you know what I'm saying? But it just gave us, when you do that, you got to have something to use to know what we got to do different, right? And so now that it look like we're doing some things, we want people we representing though, right? But no, they were like, they was at the Ipsy game. We had a lot of things going on at the Ipsy game though, but I'm talking about that later. But it was a good game. Overall, I was so geeked up in the stands. I was just like, okay, we was all up there, like jumping off them seats. We was about to come up the bleachers. I'm just saying, because the game was so good.
Yeah.
So
It's good energy. I mean, it's good for our community
yes,
to see that.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. Any other board comments? Yes, Trustee Goodrich.
I just wanted to wish everybody well who's going to CUBE, and it's exciting to be part of a board that is so dedicated to professional development, and I'm envious. Bring back all your professional learning and share.
We will. We'll pack it all up. Bring it back. Any other board comments? Yes, Trustee Sutton Kennedy.
I think this is our first board meeting since opening day and since school started. So I would like to congratulate everyone in the district, our educators, especially in the buildings every day, on a new school year. And opening day was amazing. We received some very inspiring words and leadership from Dr. Zachary Ross and Trustee Townsend. It was a good time, and I have, this is my first year being on the board and really learning so much about how schools and districts operate. It's just been amazing to see and learn about how the tone is being set for the school year and, starting off the year with that shared vision. And so I was really grateful to be at that event and be able to see, the leadership and, what our educators are experiencing. I also attended the transportation event on that Friday before school started. That was really nice. There's bouncy houses and some activities and booths and everything for families to come find out information about transportation. There was a fire truck there with all the firemen showing off their tools and equipment and everything. There was also something else. Oh, food as well, and raffles. So that was a really nice event. And I hope we do it again next year. Hopefully with a little bit more publication and marketing, but I thought that was a really nice event. I biked to it as well. So it was a nice ride. And lastly, I will add that Puentes is having our first PTO meeting of the school year at the building Tuesday at 5:30.
Awesome.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Other board comment? I would just echo what has already been said. Thank you to Trustee Townsend. I heard many wonderful comments about how you brought it and represented YC as well. I had went to the professional development day for the district staff the next day and ran into a lot of educators. So I just wanted to thank you and the rest of the board for showing up and representing and being present and dancing. And, you know, it was a lot going on opening day. Y'all did that. So this is a great district to be part of and a great board to serve on. We've done a lot. We opened a whole new building. We had a ribbon cutting. We had a retreat before that. We are going on another professional development trip opportunity this year. Most years we have been presenting, but this will give us an opportunity this year to take advantage of all of the outstanding workshops that the CUBE conference will offer. So thank you, Trustee Goodrich, for wishing us well as we travel this week to learn and come back and share all that we have learned. I look forward to all this year will bring. I've heard nothing but positive comments in this community about how launching and opening up this school year went so well. And so I know Dr. Zachary Ross will share more about that in her comments, but just really proud always for everything that we do as a district. Kudos to all of our educators, our staff, our community, our caregivers, our parents, everyone in this community. We cannot do it without everyone helping to support us to make sure our scholars have an outstanding learning experience. So I just want to say thank you. And Dr. Zachary Ross, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Board, for allowing us to have so many points of pride at the beginning of the meeting. We know that typically we don't have so many, but we had such short presentations today. We knew we wanted to start off the year with the scholars and so many great things they've been doing over the summer. And I knew you'd be appreciative of having the scholars here. We had several open houses as the year started off, as you all noted, and we have tomorrow to round off the open houses at the YCHS. They have the final open house from 5 to 7 is their open house, and the senior parent meeting is at 6:15. And so they've been sending out the flyers. And so that final open house is at Ypsilanti Community High School tomorrow. We also want to just say, yes, the buildings have been looking phenomenal. The learning has already been happening. And today, I know people probably heard you are approving the portables and those things. And if just a reminder, it's just the continuation. You already had the workshop. You already have been talking about it. You've already shared with the public all the things throughout the summer about the debt relief. So I know people probably, if they're just now joining and watching, this has been demonstrated over the summer, three presentations. And so thank you for making those approvals and for it finally coming through to fruition. And so we're really excited about what we've been seeing in the building. I know you've asked for a tour to be able to see some of those things happening. And I know Mr. Birchwell and his team have just been doing a tremendous job. And so we can't wait to see some of the, see that work that has been happening. So again, I want to thank the facilities team under the leadership of Mr. Birchwell, because we're just thrilled that our scholars are able to be in the buildings to see that work. We know the flyers have been out. There's a lot of information. The absentee ballots are out. And so a lot of good work about information about the CTE millage has been going on. And so you'll hear about that too at the legislative breakfast. And we've been putting information out. A lot of interviews too about the state budget is there. So we know that uncertainty around education funding is unsettling. And I did an interview. We continue to just urge our legislators to listen to what we've been saying, and we've been weighing in as a district. We've been talking to our legislators, and so that breakfast is going to be important for us. We also know that in October, our new state superintendent, Glenn Maleko from Dearborn, will be in place. And so all of us have been working together to make sure that we continue to speak out about what's important for districts like ours in this state funding initiative. He's been a part of the Michigan Alliance that used to be Middle City. So it's a good thing that he is from a district that is a part of the organization like the Michigan Alliance, because he has an ear for an understanding for districts like Ypsilanti Community Schools. And so I'm really happy about that. And so that is a good thing for us. You talked about subcommittees. We know that you have been wonderful about meeting at the retreat. And so part of the subcommittees kind of work has been happening there. The Finance and Operations Subcommittee meets and the Community Relations on September 15th. So you all are all right, coming up again already. So thank you for your work and your dedication for that. And this is National Hispanic Heritage Month. And so there's a lot of work that our schools have been doing around that, as well as Constitution Day. So lots of good work already. And as you talked about the STEAM night with Toyota, and the partnership was wonderful. So we just thank our partners for working with us, and the staff as well as the athletic directors at the high school. As you talked about, Trustee Fields, we already have our meeting, our debrief meeting, because we were talking about like, okay, what do we do? What is our plan? We're excited that community wants to come out. We definitely didn't expect that, crowd. We just are like, okay, let's debrief. We already had a debrief today in executive cabinet, and we're going to partner with the high school because we want them to come out, and we want them to know that we will be ready for the next crowd. So we just want to thank the community for their support around our scholars, and we'll be ready for you at the next game.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Dr. Zachary Ross. Anything else from the board? Okay. Seeing there is nothing, the time is 8:13, and this regular Board of Education meeting is adjourned.